Something someone said to you got you triggered. What do we do? You're in the middle of manifesting something like your relationship. You're putting all your attention and energy into it. You're putting out the energy. You're doing the state akin to sleep exercises. You're doing affirmations. You're listening subliminals. But then out of nowhere, somebody says something that just knocks you out of it. What do we do? So, when in the process of creating change in your life, things happen or things come up. Part of why we practice things like breathing, meditation, and forgiveness exercises like Ho'oponopono is we are working to cleanse the data that is in your field. Whatever is showing up in your experience around you can only be there in the experience if part of it is already inside of you. It contains, because we attract, like attracts like. We attract whatever's inside of us. So if inside of you currently there's something going on and you have like old traumas, old fears, this old energy, the people and experiences that are going to come into your life are going to be a match to that. So when it shows up in the conversation with another person and you say it gets you triggered, what that means is this person or this thing, this circumstance is coming in your life, this conversation is happening because it's meant to reveal this feeling that's inside of you. And we could do one of two things. You could either let it come up and then use that feeling as an excuse to do something back, or to spiral and go into doubt and be like, oh my gosh, all this negative stuff, and allow that feeling to live inside of you. Or we use these as opportunities to release it, and that's why we do stuff like Ho'oponopono. Thank you. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'm sorry for my part in creating this inside me. Not what's going on inside there, but this feeling that's coming inside of me. I'm sorry for my part in creating this. Forgive me. You're speaking to the higher power. Forgive me. I'm giving this feeling, this emotion, this experience to a higher power, this triggered feeling. I'm giving it away, and I love you. I'm giving love in space of this. I'm pushing this away. And we also practice breathing. All of these are just to release the pattern of energy inside of the nervous system, what we refer to as like the subconscious mind, everything below the neck. If you have a feeling in your gut, in your chest, and it feels uncomfortable, the reason why the stuff is happening outside of you is not, oh, this is happening, everything's awful, and that's why I feel bad. No, it's happening because it's letting you know this thing is in your field, this thing is in your body. And the reason why it's coming up is because it's giving you the opportunity to say, okay, I don't want this in my life. I'm going to breathe it out. I'm going to Ho'oponopono. I'm going to do this to get rid of this pattern. And by doing the process and ridding yourself and discharging this energy, you release it, you let it go, and you begin the process of accepting a new type of response, a new type of conversation. And this is powerful because it gives you the opportunity to have new responses in your life, to have new emotional reactions. When you talk to somebody and that person says some stuff that gets you angry, understand that you're not angry because the person, you're angry because that you're angry or you're sad or you're triggered because that's what's within you. Because if you look back at your life, this is not the first time that you felt like that. This is probably not the first time that concept or that comment came up. If you're fearful of your partner saying, oh, I don't want any kids, the reason why that's coming up is because you already knew that was a fear. That fear already existed in your field. It existed in your mind, and it's coming out of that person's mouth because it's giving you the opportunity to confront it and say, do I want to live this life or do I want to produce something different? And the important thing to keep in mind is when you're going through the process and you're letting go and you're discharging this energy, you're releasing this data, is that if it no longer is contained within you, that experience will disappear and things will change. That's the one thing that people don't understand about any conversation that they have. Like if somebody says something where like, I want this, and it's something that's completely left field that you don't want. Like your partner comes to you and tells you, hey, I don't want to have kids. And you clearly want to have children. You clearly want to have kids. Understand that coming up, if you're in your relationship and that's been something that's been happening and coming up, it's not set in stone. The person is just voicing how they feel and what they're able to visualize their future being like from their current position. And if it's a dude, usually dudes will make decisions like that and say stuff like that because of how their life's current position is. For my current position in life, I don't think I want to have more kids, and that's okay. That's fine. But if you know that you want to have kids, understand that by holding your desire, one of two things is going to happen. If you hold your desire and your desire does not change, your belief is going to win. Whenever anybody voices an opinion, the opinion or belief that wins is the stronger one. Because in any situation, one person's going to win. If you have two people with two opposing views or two opposing beliefs, if they say something, the only way that that's going to become your reality is if you accept it from that person. If you know for a fact that you're going to have kids, I want to have my kids, I love my kids, I want to have kids, I'm going to have my kids, and that's the thing that's dominating in your mind, you're going to have the children. Whether it's with this person or someone else, you're going to have the kids. Because someone is going to pick up on that signal and say, yes, I want to have kids with you because I noticed that thing. What usually happens is that somebody will say, I want this thing, and the other person will say, I don't want this thing, and then one of the people in the situation will give up. They'll acquiesce. They'll go into the belief. They'll go to the person who has the stronger frame of mind, the stronger frame. Strongest frame wins. Same thing with like divorce or breaking up. If one person says, I want to break up, the only way that the breakup actually happens is if the other person agrees, yeah, we're broken up. Which is funny because it's like, oh, what do you mean? It's like, no, if the other person says, oh, you want to break up? And the other person's like, no, I want to be together. And they're focused on, we're going to work this through. We're going to work this through. One of those people is going to acquiesce in that situation. Because if the person is like, we're still together, we're going to work this out, we're going to work this out, we're going to work this out. Their thought process and their mind, that vibration that they put out is going to be stronger than the other person. And if they're convincing enough and they're able to construct a reality that's more compelling than the reality of the other person, that person's just going to end up being like, oh, okay, fine, yeah. And that's why you have relationships where people have problems, have issues, and they're able to work through it because it only requires one person to make their mind up like, I want this relationship to work. So if you want to fix a relationship, it only requires one person. If you want to have a specific sort of lifestyle, it only requires one person to make that decision and to not give up in the face of whatever the other person says. So whenever anybody comes to me and says, oh, my person or this person says this, they don't want to do that, they hate this, they don't want to be together, it doesn't matter. If you're holding on to what you want and you do it for long enough, that's it, period. You're getting it. Whether you get it from that person or another person, you're going to get it. If you know that I am a mom, I'm in a position, I'm a wife, the world, you will literally move mountains to get what you want. And it's either going to be that person sees it and they move their behavior and act in accordance with what you want and what you desire, or someone else is going to come along and this person is going to be knocked out of your life and the right person is going to come up. But either way, your wish is going to be fulfilled, period, if you do not change the way that you think. It's the age-old question of what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Well, if in your mind you're an immovable object, the unstoppable force is going to move around because you ain't going anywhere. If your mind is made up and set in stone, you become the immovable object, and the world will literally move and revolve around you. So stop worrying about what other people think, especially if you get triggered by what somebody says. Understand that this is only bringing up something inside of you, and it's your opportunity to purge old data. If you have trauma, old beliefs, all these things are just old data, old thought processes, old things that do not fit the life that you want. And this is your opportunity whenever it comes up to give yourself a deletion, to delete the stuff that doesn't fit and replace it with something that you want. And if you stay focused and say, no, this is what I want, that's it, period. I'm not going to think of anything else. There is no other point. I remember reading a post that Layla Hermosi posted where she mentioned that true commitment is acting as if there are no alternatives. There are no alternatives. If you want something, if you act as if there are no alternatives, you will get exactly what you want. And that is true commitment. You need to have true commitment to your dream, true commitment to your desire, no matter what happens. And if you do that, everything falls into place. I can't tell you when it falls into place, but I know for a fact if you are unwavering in your desire, it will fall into place. Same thing if you want to make $1 million. Same thing if you want to have the best body in your life. Same thing if you want to have your best relationship and you want to be a wife and have kids. If you are unwavering in your desire and you just know it and you're committed to it and this is the only thing I'm going to accept, that's it, period, that's exactly what you get.